All right, welcome to lesson 10 of math. We are halfway through our module after today. So what I want you to do today is I want you to grab a pen, a pencil, and a piece of paper. I would say do lined paper like this because that way it's going to be easier to write. With our problems today, I want you to write out along with me. So our first question is, a guitar has 6 strings. How many strings are there on 3 guitars? Write a multiplication equation to solve. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a number bond. We're going to do a little bit of a review. So we want to find the total. So right here is our question mark. We don't know the total, but we do know how many guitars. We have 3 guitars. Now how many strings are on each guitar? 6. So now we want to see how I could do repeated addition. I could do 6 plus 6 plus 6. But our problem says write a multiplication equation. So what we're going to do is take how many lines, my 3 guitars, times how many strings on each guitar? 6. Now I'm going to count by 3s to my 6th finger. 1, 2, counting by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So that gives me a total of 18 strings on 3 guitars. So now this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to slide it just a little bit. I want us to make an array of this multiplication problem. So this means how many rows. So I'm going to make them X's. You can do them circles. You can make your arrays with whatever shape or letter you want. Now how many in each row? 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to continue that. So now I have my 3 rows and 6 in each row. And now I'm going to make a dotted line between the first row to show just one guitar. So I'm going to make a dotted line. So now I'm showing this is 1 guitar and how many strings, and this is 2 guitars and 6 strings. Now I want us to write a multiplication to describe above the dotted line. So if I wrote a multiplication sentence about this row above the dotted line, I would say I have 1 row times how many in each row. 1 times 6 gives me a total of 6. So that goes all with this. My first row is 1 times 6. 1 row times 6 in each row. Now we're going to make a multiplication sentence to describe our bottom array. So now below the dotted line, I have 2 rows times how many in each row gives me a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So this is my top row array, and this is my bottom array. So now I'm going to write this, and I want you to tell me if it's true or not. 6 plus 12 equals 3 6s. And 1 times 6 plus 2 times 6 equals 3 6s. And 1 times 6 plus 2 times 6 equals 6 plus 12. So I know this looks a little bit complicated, but we're going to go over it together. So now we want to talk about why is this one true? Because my 1 6, which is up here, plus my 2 6s, which is my 12, right here, my 2 6s, gives me a total of 1, 2, 3 sixes. So when I add 6 and 12, I get 18, which is 3 sixes, because 3 times 6 gives me 18. So it kind of all goes together. Because when I write 3 times 6 equals 18, I can also write 3 times 6 equals 3 sixes. I'm adding 6 plus 6 plus 6 is my 3 sixes of 18. So now let's go to the bottom. How do I know this equation is true? Well, 1 times 6 is the same as 1 6. And when I say 2 times 6, it is the same as 2 sixes. So 1 6 plus 2 sixes gives me a total of 1, 2, 3, gives me a total of 3 sixes. So we're just writing our multiplication sentences out in a different kind of format. And this is a little bit of a review from, I think, 2 weeks ago. So this shouldn't be brand new. It should be a little familiar. We're just going to go over it a little more in depth. So now, if I write 1 times 6 in parentheses plus 2 times 6 in parentheses equals 6 plus 12, is that true? Well, let's see. I'm going to draw a little arrow to know I'm working with them in the parentheses. We always work with what's in the parentheses first. So 1 times 6 is 6. I'm going to bring down my plus sign. 2 times 6 is 12 equals, bringing that down. I'm going to draw my arrows. 6 plus 12. So 6 plus 12 equals 6 plus 12. Is that true? Yes, they're the same numbers that we're adding. So as a review, remember when I write 3 times 4, remember that equals the same as 3 4s. All right, so now we're going to go over what does 2 times 6 mean? It means 12. We just did that. That was my bad. So now, let's quickly flip over. I'm going to go through, draw a line here. We're going to do our 1 times 6 again, plus our 2 times 6. But this time, we're going to solve. So as I go right here, 1 times 6 is 6, plus I always do my parentheses first. 2 times 6 is 12. So now what is 6 plus 12? If that we cannot do in our head, we're going to write it out on the side. 6 plus 2 is 8. The 1 gets brought down. 18.